I remember the first show that our family was involved in. It was a production of Sleeping Beauty Kids, and all three of my kids were in it. And the directors of the show, they always have a parent meeting first when you get started with rehearsals. And she said, hey, congratulations, your kids are in a play. And then she said to the parents, and by the way, so are you. And I didn't know what she meant, but she went on to say, listen, I can't do this by myself, so I'm gonna need help with building a set and with costumes and with lights and microphones and publicity photos. And so you're gonna be involved somehow. And I remember turning to my wife and saying, okay, well, let's figure out what we're gonna sign up for. And I remember at the end of that meeting, my wife turned to me and she said, I think we found our home.
My first show was Sleeping Beauty Kids, I think 5 years ago now. And it was going in with Bennett and Lainey, my two sisters. And I remember Bennett messed up during her callback and she kind of froze a little bit. But then Bethany, the director, just said, hey, go again, you're all good. And another girl ran up to Bennett and gave her a hug. That girl turned out to be Kara Kless, who is still one of my closest friends at NTPA.
I'm always looking for something for my husband and daughter to do together. So daddy-daughter time. I saw that there was this theater open very close to my house. I live 5 minutes from here. And they were doing a production of The Little Mermaid. And I'm like, great, you can take Kara to go see this production.
I walked in and I remember like in the front lobby, they had like this big Ursula head and I was like, that's awesome. And my dad and I went and we watched it. And in the playbill, it has like the little ads for like shows that are upcoming. And it was for Willy Wonka. And I just finished reading the book and I was like, I want to do this. And like, I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to do Willy Wonka. And she was like, okay.
My first show was Junie B. Jones Jr. It was scary, but like, I knew that I had one friend that I could like hang out with. And then I knew that I could make a whole bunch of new friends.
I walked in here and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Like, imagine being an actor in here. That's probably really amazing.
Just watching Griffin come into the Fairview Theater for the first time and go through that production process was just like watching him put on a custom shoe. I mean, he slid right into the process. It fit perfectly.
My first show, I was nervous, but as I've progressed in shows, I've become a little less nervous.
Thinking of the difference between then and now, it's pretty big.
So you've grown.
Yes, grown as an actor, grown as a friend, grown a lot.
One of our directors made a great observation. She said that for kids, when they take on a character, that they're putting on a costume, but they're also putting on a persona. And she has this great phrase. She said, being an actor means you're growing in empathy, because you're becoming someone else, and that makes you a better human being. You're seeing the world through someone else's eyes and living into that character to do that. And how could that not help someone just function better in the world?
So some skills I have learned at the theater are not only strengthening my singing and my dancing, but also the importance of friendship and respecting others. At NTPA, we have 10 character traits, and one that I have personally really grown on is definitely respect. By learning those simple skills, it's helped me expand my skills, learning other ways to respect people and how to make them feel respected.
I think it helps me be a better person outside of the theater because using the 10 characters to tell me about gratitude, love one another, and treat others the way you want to be treated.
I think it helped me with my social life. I think it helped me be more creative, and I feel like that can be really influential and really important for later in your life.
From the beginning, we met people that were just kind and genuine, and we feel excited to come through the doors. I think it's so important that our kids have a space that they can walk into and they feel celebrated, and there's high fives and literal bear hugs that, lift them up, and their friends are happy to see them. It's a pat on the back, it's a standing ovation, and sometimes it's hard for the kids to connect other places. It's not hard for them here. They've got friends everywhere. I mean, every show they come and they support each other. So it's really beautiful to see.
When I walk into NTPA, I guess I do feel a sense of home, and that kind of sounds corny, but it's home. It's the place where I know people, where I feel connected, where I feel happy.
When I walk in here, it just makes me feel so comfortable. Like, I know what's going on.
My first feelings when I walk in the door here are comfort,
It's like all my friends that are more like my family at this point. They're always here, and it's comforting.
This is the space where I can be myself. And I think that's why it's so easy to make friends here, because everybody's just themselves and everybody gets accepted for who they really are and not just some cover story.
When I come to this space, I really feel safe. Like, this is a safe place to feel everything.
I've seen these kids do things that they didn't think that they could do, but I've also seen them lift each other up in ways that are extremely powerful and will serve them through their whole life.
Mic drop.